All right, I'm live. Woohoo! Okay, this is Saturday, the 23rd of March. You know you're busy when you have to actually look and see what day you in. We're in the 23rd of March here. It's 11:14, Saturday, March 23rd, 2019. Woohoo! Almost 3 months gone into this year. Has 2019 been throwing kisses at you? I hope it has, man. Me? I don't know, man. I'm just not feeling 2019, man. I'll tell you the truth. I'm not really feeling it, man. But it is what it is, right? Isn't that what the people say nowadays? It is what it is. Well, it is what it isn't. I know it. It is what it can't be. It isn't what it can't be. It isn't what it I don't know. Maybe I'm trying too hard. I gotta get some coffee. That's what it is. I only had one cup of coffee this morning. I need at least one more before I'm fully awake. Or go outside to do something, chase the cat, or something. Get that heart pumping blood, get that blood pumping around, circulating. And talking about circulating, uh, temptation is something that always circulates. Temptation is something that's always going to be with you. You know, don't think that I'm beyond that. Say, oh yeah, Victor, you talk about that, but this is what I got going on. Well, in the heat of the moment, I guess that's the right word, right? The heat of the moment. when you're in that flood, when you're in that flood of thoughts. I don't know where is it that I got that from, the flood. I know there's something about uh the flood of the enemy or whatever. Or I gotta read that out. But anyway, I like to think of it like being in a flood of thoughts, because when you're in a flood, when you're underwater, the water is totally surrounding you. It's all around. You can't get away from it. And that's exactly how it is with the devil's thoughts that he sends to you, or your own evilness. So we got that right. And I'm sorry that you hear some mariachi music playing in the background, but that's my next door neighbor. I guess he's deaf. Because you figured this room here is like 12 feet. So, you figure I'm 4 feet. So that music is going through 8 feet, and then it's going through the window, and then another 12 feet to his house, and his window is closed, I guess. So, I guess he's deaf. Usually, I don't know. Maybe he needs a new battery in his hearing aid or something. I don't know exactly what the story is. Maybe I should go over there and knock on the door. Oh, no, no, even better than that. Maybe what I should do is get my 18-inch speakers, put them outside the window, and blast. Get some 70s thing. Like Cool in the Game. So you can get down, get down. Now, how's that? I mean, with 18-inch speakers, I could rock. I could rock. I might break his windows or something. Get down, get down. I know he probably won't be able to even stand that kind of music, but I think he'll get the message. Keep it down a little bit. I mean, even though it's early, but still, geez. I mean, I don't want to hear it. That's why I moved over here. That's why I don't. That's why I'm not living in an apartment building. Because I don't want to hear what's going on with the neighbors. You know, and but I guess today's Saturday, and maybe he's happy. His daughter just came back from a deployment in Germany, and I think she's stationed now in Texas. So, and the other daughter's living there. So, I don't know. But anyway, I digress. I'm talking about temptation today. I think we talked a little bit about it. Um, what do you do when temptation, especially the one that you like, that, and I'm going area. I'm talking about all temptations. Gluttony is a temptation. Uh-oh. I'm hitting you hard, huh? I'm hitting myself hard on this one. Gluttony is a temptation. It's a sin. You know, watching porn is a sin. I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. This thing is very, very powerful. Food, overeating. I mean, that thing was good. You know, God made all these taste buds for a reason. You know, but you have to eat just enough to live, not live to eat. Did I say it right? I don't know. Like I said, you're only on 1 cup of coffee. So, and where is the God of Elijah? You know, where is God? Where is God now? Where is God now in my situation? Here I am, you know, still feeling pain. I feel a little bit better, but I still feel pain, and I still got to be taking CBD oil. I still got to be taking oxycodone. You know, and with all that, I'm still looking for work. I almost worked yesterday driving Uber. I just couldn't get it. I just couldn't get it together with hire car. At first, they told me that I applied for several. I applied for like 3 cars on Thursday morning, like 2 o'clock in the morning. And Friday, nobody had taken my offer, so I had to reapply. You know, and then when I reapplied, I got in touch with some of the owners, and one of them said, "Yeah, you can have the car for 1 day." You know, from Friday to Saturday. So I figured, why not? You know. So I called up Hire Car, and I asked the customer service rep. I said, "Look, this person here has a car. They could lend it to me for 1 day. They could rent it to me for 1 day." And then so the guy said, "Sure, we could do it." So sure enough, I got an email saying that I've been signed, that I took the car for 4 days. And I talked to the owner of the car. You know, I said, "Hey, this thing is saying 4 days." You know. And so when I went to go pick up the car, I called up the customer service number, and I told them, I said, "Look, you people have got this thing all wrong. You know, I mean, it was supposed to be just 1 day, and now this is saying 4 days." And then the customer service rep says, "Well, you cannot have just 1 day. Our minimum is 2 days." And I said, "Well, that's not going to work for me. You may as well cancel the whole thing, because I'm not going to pay you know, whatever, like 40 something dollars, almost $50 a day. So I'm going to pay $100 for 1 day. That doesn't make any sense to me, you know, because then I would have to make at least, I don't know, maybe 200 or whatever, or something, or, you know, whatever I was going to make. But I would primarily be driving just to pay the car, you know. So that makes absolutely no sense. So I told him, I said, cancel the deal. And then he called up the owner of the car. And then he called me. And he tells me, well, he says, stay with the car for 1 day and then we'll reimburse you. And I said, well, how long are you going to hold my money for? You know, and because this is all going on my credit card, you know, this was what, 220, whatever. And the guy said, well, they sent me an email saying it's from 5 to 10 business days. And I said, so let me get this straight, because your customer service rep decided to make a mistake saying that I can rent the car for 1 day. You're going to penalize me by keeping my money for up to 10 days? I said, no, forget it. Just cancel it. Lose my email. You know, it's because of people like you that I have a text blocker and I have a call blocker on my cell phone. You know, and believe me, I'm going to let everybody know that Hire Car is really a terrible place to get a car if you need a car to drive for Uber and Lyft. It was, I mean, the whole thing was ridiculous. I called them up like twice. They hung up on me. One time I got through and I told them, they said they were going to get in touch with me. They never did get in touch with me. You know, so, I mean, I'm not feeling the love. I'm not feeling the Hire Car love. I know why they call it Hire Car now. They call it Hire Car because all them customer service reps are high. That's what it is. Yeah. They're higher. They're high. They're not high. They're higher. You know. But it's what God wants, right? You know, if God wants me to do it, he will open up the doors, and if He doesn't want to do it, He closes the doors. Just because there's resistance, that doesn't mean that God doesn't want it, right? I mean, Daniel is a great example of that. his petition was resisted for 21 days. Okay, the answer, the Bible says the angel said he I should just sort of read it, right? Because it was like 21 days that he had to wait. Daniel, 21 days waiting for the answer, waiting for the answer. And sure enough, Daniel, do not be afraid. For the first day, it's 10:12 of Daniel. Daniel 10:12. So let's see what we got here. Daniel 10:12. And I'll look it up just to make sure that this way you get the words exactly the way they should be. Because the thing is that I don't want to say something that's incorrect or incorrect mundo. And it says here, oh, wait up now. 10 to, this is telling me 10 verse, what? This is the wrong one now. This is, I think it was, it gave me the chapter 10. Let's see here. Okay, here goes. It says here, this is Daniel chapter 10, verse 12. I put it in wrong, and it gave me chapters 10 to chapters 12. It says, then he continued, do not be afraid, Daniel, since the first day that you set your mind to gain understanding and to humble yourself before your God, your words were heard, and I have come in response to them. But the prince of the Persian kingdom resisted me 21 days. Then Michael, one of the chief princes, came to help me because I was detained there with the king of Persia. Now I have come to explain to you what will happen to your people in the future, for the vision concerns a time yet to come. While he was saying this to me, I bowed my face towards the ground and was speechless. Then one who looked like a man touched my lips, and I opened my mouth and began to speak. I said to the one standing before me, I am overcome with anguish because of the vision, my Lord, and I feel very weak. How can I, your servant, talk with you, my Lord? My strength is gone, and I can hardly breathe. Again, the one who looked like a man touched me and gave me strength. He said, no, do not be afraid. You are highly esteemed, he said. Peace. Be strong now. Be strong. It sounds like God, doesn't it? When he talks to Joshua and he says, be strong and be courageous. Sounds just like him. So he said, do you know why I have come to you? Soon I will return to fight against the prince of Persia. And when I go, the prince of Greece will come. But first, I will tell you what is written in the book of truth. Chapter 11, and no one supports me against them except Michael, your prince, and the first year of Darius the Mede, I took my stand to support and protect him. Hallelujah. So there's resistance there, okay? But there's victory afterwards. Just because there's resistance, that doesn't mean that it's not God's will. Okay? Look at Abraham. Abraham had a little bit of resistance, His workers were fighting with Lot's workers, So what did he do? He decided to get rid of that situation. He told Lot, your choice, You go one place, I'll go the other, because we have all this strife, and this strife is not really helping too much. Because what happens is that we have too much contention between my workers and your workers. So you go to the left, I go to the right. You go to the you go to the right, I go to the left. You go to the well-watered pasture lands, the valleys, where you can raise stuff and have grazing for your cattle, and I'll go to the mountains or whatever, you know. See, because when you got the blessing, like Abraham had it, you can go anywhere, and wherever you go, you're going to be blessed. You know, so I'm asking, where is the God of Elijah? Where is the God that's going to heal me? Where is he? See, Abraham got rid of Lot, and after that, all the blessings came to him. After that, you see Isaac coming. After that, you see when he went and fought against the kings to get Lot back. You know, and he just went over there with 300 men, 300 plus men that weren't even all people who were. There was 300 people that were in his that were born in his house, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just read that, because I don't want to give you the wrong thing here, but I do believe that there was like a little bit over 300 people here. I just want to Abraham fights to get Lot back. Hallelujah. Okay. Genesis 14. Abraham rescues Lot. Okay. So let's see exactly what happens there. If I'm not mistaken, he went with Mamre and his 300 people here. Actually, maybe we can go to 13, and we could read about Abraham and Lot separate. Okay. How are we doing on time? I don't want to take too much time because you people always talk way too much. Okay, we're only at 17, so yeah, we could do that one. It's just that you people you always talk too much about different things and you never stay on the same subject. That's what you call ADDDHDDDDD. So let's see what we got here. Okay, well, okay, let me just do this here, I guess. Let me get 13 to 15. Then it's just 13 to 15. I think that'll cover everything as far as what I want to talk about. I don't know. I haven't really written this whole thing out. Usually I'm not that unprepared. Usually I try to be prepared. I try to, at least have a little time of Bible reading before. I had Bible reading way before. So, or did I? I don't know. Everything to me is like a blur because I've had so much. If I don't look at my, how do you say? If I don't look at my journal here, I don't know if I don't even know if I read my Bible or not. Because sometimes I wake up in the morning and I go out and I start looking at the stars to see God's creation and everything, or whatever. And it says here in Genesis 13, so Abram went up from Egypt to the Negev with his wife and everything he had, and Lot went with him. Hallelujah. Let me just put this over here. Let me put the live. Let me put this in like half of the screen or whatever. Okay, and then this one here. We'll just put this one as half the screen so that this way I can see myself and I can see the words that I'm reading here. Okay, so now Abram went up from Egypt to Negev with his wife and everything he had, and Lot went with them. Abram, think about that. Now, Abram didn't say, "Hey, Lot, why don't you come?" No. Lot went with him. So he knew he was getting blessed because of the fact that, if you're hanging around with a blessed person, you're going to be blessed too. See, Lot was no fool. I mean, he saw that God had blessed Abram, everything he had. I mean, the guy increased an awful lot. And when he turned to see God. And it says, so Abram went up from Egypt to Negev with his wife and everything he had, and Lot went with them. Lot wasn't invited. He just went. You ever have relatives like that? Or people you really don't want to hang out with them, but they go anyway? They say, yeah, I was going that way too. You say, hey, I'm going to a baseball game. Yeah, I was going to go there too. And then when you get over there, oh man, I left my ticket, man. I was gonna buy a ticket here, and I left my money over there. You think you spot me the money? I give it to you later. Or now the hockey playoffs are going. Oh, forget it. The hockey playoffs, Lightning. Okay, so Abram had become very wealthy in livestock and in silver and gold. So Abraham was very wealthy. He had silver and gold. From the Negev, he went from place to place until he came to Bethel. Now that name Bethel would be, if I'm not mistaken, it's called the house of God, Bethel. And I think that was named by Jacob, if I'm not mistaken. But you know what? It's always better to get the what is this, man? Oh, okay. I just want to make sure that that is exactly what it is. Make sure it is what it is. Let me get over here. Bethel meaning, if I'm not mistaken, it means house of God, and it was a holy place. Is Bethel. Okay. What is the meaning of the name Bethel? Where did the name Bethel come from? Okay, let's go with the meaning. The name Bethel is a Hebrew baby name. A baby name. In Hebrew, meaning of name Bethel is house of God. Okay, so I guess I was right on that one. Baby name, I don't know a baby name, a Hebrew baby name. Who names their kid Bethel? I guess. I don't know, but or maybe that might be like a root word. I don't know. I guess not. But anyway, where did the name Bethel come from? From the Old Testament, place meaning the house of God in Hebrew. This was a town north of Jerusalem where Jacob saw the vision of the stairway. It is occasionally used as a given name. Look at that. Given name. Who knew? Who knew? Okay. I'm gonna have to start using two computers here so that this way I can do this thing a little bit better. I can have all these things already, so this way I don't spend too much time. I could just go from one window to another. Over here, we're at the 23-minute mark now. So anyway, to the place between Bethel and Ai, where his tent had been earlier, and where he had first built an altar. There Abram called on the name of the Lord. Now Lot, who was moving about with Abram, also had flocks and herds and tents, but the land could not support them. So there was too many animals, not enough grazing land, or not enough space, whatever. For their possessions were so great that they were not able to stay together. And quarreling arose between Abram's herders and Lot's. And the Canaanites and the Perizzites were also living in the land at the time. So Abram said to Lot, let's not have any quarreling between you and me, or between your herders and mine, for we are close relatives. Is not the whole land before you? Let's part company. If you go to the left, I'll go to the right. If you go to the right, I'll go to the left. Lot looked around and saw that the whole plain of the Jordan towards Zoar was well watered, like the garden of the Lord, like the land of Egypt. This was before the Lord destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. So Lot chose for himself the whole plain of the Jordan and set out towards the east. The two men parted company. Abram lived in the land of Canaan, while Lot lived among the cities of the plain and pitched his tent near Sodom. Now the people of Sodom were wicked and were sinning greatly against the Lord. The Lord said to Abram after Lot had parted from him, look around from where you are to the north, south, east and west. All the land that you see, I will give to you and your offspring forever. So if you're a Palestinian, if you're an Arab, whatever, you think you're a descendant of Esau or a descendant of Ishmael, you know what? The Jews have been given that land by God. So you got a problem with them being where they are in Israel? Talk to God about it, okay? So he's going to give that land to them forever. And I will make your offspring like the dust of the earth, so that if anyone could count the dust, then your offspring could be counted. Go walk through the length and breadth of the land, for I am giving it to you. Okay, so walk around. Walk around. That's about as close as you're gonna ever hear me say name it and claim it. Okay, Abraham walked around the property. So Abraham went to live near the great trees of Mamre at Hebron, where he pitched his tent. There he built an altar to the Lord. Okay, now Abram rescues Lot at the time when Amraphel was king of Shinar, Arioch king of Elasar, Kedorlaomer king of Elam, and Tidal king of Goiim. These kings went to war against Bera king of Sodom, Bishar king of Gomorrah, Shinab king of Admah, Shemeber king of Zeboim, and the king of Bela, that is Zoar. All these latter king joins forces in the valley of Siddim, that is the Dead Sea Valley. 12 years they had been subject to Kedorlaomer, but in the 13th year they rebelled. And of course, from there on, they took Lot, and Abram went over there. And I just want to see exactly what it was. Somebody had told him, okay, so Abram heard that his relatives had been taken captives. And this is verse 14 here. When Abram heard that his relative had been taken captive, he called out the 318 trained men born in his household and went in pursuit as far as Dan. During the night, Abram divided his men to attack them, and he routed them, pursuing them as far as Hobah, north of Damascus. He recovered all the goods and brought back his relatives Lot and his possessions, together with the woman and the other people. After Abram returned from defeating Kedorlaomer and the king allied with him, the king of Sodom came out to meet him in the valley of Shaveh, that is the king's valley. Then Melchizedek, king of Salem, brought out bread and wine. Look at that. Check that out. Here Abraham had to do this battle to get his relative back. Okay. And after the battle, this type of Christ comes and brings him bread and wine. Okay. Sounds like a communion service to me, huh? He was priest of the Most High God, and he blessed Abram, saying, "Blessed be Abram by God Most High, creator of heaven and earth. And praised be to God Most High, who delivered your enemies into your hand." Then Abraham gave a tenth of everything. Sounds familiar, huh? That's where the tithe comes from, the tenth. The king of Sodom said to Abram, "Give me the people and keep the goods yourself." But Abram wasn't having none of that. He said, "I will not accept nothing belonging to you, not even a thread or a strap of sandals, so that you will never be able to say, 'I made Abram rich.' I will accept nothing but what my men have eaten, and share the share that belongs to the men who went with me, to Aner, Eshcol, and Mamre. Let them have their share." So these were the people who were with Abram. They were like his homeboys. They were the people that were down with Abram to do whatever he wanted to do. So I mean, if Abram wanted to go to war, these people were down. Let's go. I'm down with that. I'm your homeboy. Let's go, man. Abram was very rich. Look, he had 318 people who were born in his household. So he had a lot of slaves, man. A lot of people. And the thing is, where is the God of Elijah? Where is the God of Elijah in my life? I mean, here I am trying to look for work. It's not happening. Trying to, I'm still sick, you know. But you know what? I have to trust in God. Ultimately, I know it's going to work out. Ultimately, this is all going to be. Eventually, I'm going to look at this and I'm going to laugh at it, and I'm going to say, "Man, look at all that stuff that I went through." You know, there was resistance. There's resistance now for my blessing, but you know what? My blessing is coming. My blessing is coming, and I'm so glad because all you haters out here on Facebook, and especially the haters who like to eat hater chips. Those are my relatives, the ones who like to eat hater chips. And the my friends on Facebook, those are the ones that just drink the Gatorade. See, that's just the haterade. Okay, but we got the relatives that they eat the hated chips. Yeah, and my day is gonna come. I feel it. I just gotta keep on doing what I'm doing, reading the Bible, preaching, praying for relatives, praying for friends. Visiting the sick. You know, go and do evangelism, which is one thing that I wanted to do also with the Uber and Lyft. Wherever I go, I knock on a person's door. See if they want to accept Jesus into their life, and if they do, fine. We pray, and I give the address to a church nearby that I know is a Bible believing church. I call up the pastor and say, hey, this person just accepted the Lord. If you want to visit them, and if I see that they don't visit them, then I'll stay with them. I'll keep on visiting them. Because we're not gonna just let this thing go by. Well, we're at 31. Where is the God of Elijah? Where is he in my life? Sometimes I don't know, man. Right now, I'm gonna have to eat something, and I'm gonna have to take some medicine, and I don't know. I don't know where he is in my life. I'll tell you the truth, but I know he's there. Do I understand his plan? No, but I know sometime in the future I'm gonna look back on this day, and I'm gonna say, uh, I'm glad that it happened to me. I'm glad I was afflicted, like it's in the Bible. I was glad that I was afflicted. I was afflicted. It's a very hard thing to actually have. That kind of situation. Have have somebody in the Bible who can actually say that. They can actually say that. They were glad that they were afflicted. That's not easy. That's not easy. I'm still not there yet. Um, I know that that's just a very hard situation here. I am glad I was afflicted. I was afflicted. I was glad I was afflicted. Where is that? Psalm 119:71, where it says, let me go over here. I'm going to have to read the commentaries on this thing. I don't know why this thing is not showing me Bible Gateway. It's showing me something else. It's Bible Hub. All right, let's try Bible Hub. I don't like these other ones because for some reason it's hard to sometimes get these things here. Okay, and this gives you a little bit of context over here. It says the topic would be, your word is a light to my feet. Okay, and Psalm 119:70 says, their hearts are hard and callous, but I delight in your law. It was good for me to be afflicted, that I might learn your statutes. The law of your mouth is more precious to me than thousands of pieces of gold and silver. I'm going to repeat that one more time. It was good for me to be afflicted, that I might learn your statutes. I got to learn your ways, Lord. If God is, well, I'm going a little bit too far here. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to say that if I want to get close to God, it's got to be on His terms. If my prayer, like I have it right here on my wall, that it says, use me, change me, and direct me. If that's truly the prayer that I have in my heart, then he might have to he might have to he might have to do some things, to get my mind correct, to get my focus correct, to get my priorities in order. See? Well, that's all I got. And pray for me, because I'm still dealing with these temptations, and I think I'll do it just like the song says, half an hour before the devil knows you're dead. You know, that's what get to heaven half an hour before the devil knows you're dead. Get to heaven half an hour before the devil knows you're dead. Well, that's what I think is going to be when all my temptations are going to be gone. You know, and I had once had a dream or a vision that I was up there. I'm gonna talk to you about that next time. Okay, God bless everybody, and have yourself a great Saturday, a great weekend, and hopefully you can get closer to God, and so will I. Okay, God bless everybody. Bye bye. And stream, yeah, I want to end this.